Nuclear radiation accidents. A nuclear radiation accident is one that causes harm to people or facilities as a result of an accident and not an act of war. Since the first nuclear bomb, there have been many accidents and harm caused to people and the environment. In the 1940s, there were 3 lab accidents that resulted in fire and deaths. One was a steam fire in Germany, and 2 were in Los Alamos when developing the bomb for the Able test. In the 1950s, there were more than 20 nuclear accidents. 13 of these accidents were due to plane crashes, planes having to release the bombs due to weather or instrument error, missing planes, and accidental release of weapons. 4 were due to core accidents in processing plants, 3 were lab accidents, and 1 was an accident with Castle Bravo test, far exceeding the range anticipated. This exposed nuclear fallout to inhabited islands and a Japanese fishing boat. In the 1960s, there were similar accidents. 6 accidents involved submarine system failures and a ship sinking. 6 accidents involved plane crashes. The SNAP 9 accident involved a failed launch of a space satellite, releasing plutonium into the atmosphere, and 3 accidents involved fires at plants. The 1970s experienced several accidents, however, less than previous years. 6 accidents involved nuclear submarines, 1 accident with a Soviet satellite, 1 accidental release of a Soviet warhead, 1 accident at the Nevada test site, and 2 plant accidents involving fire. The 1980s, a dropped socket hit a fuel tank, causing an explosion and the death of an airman, 3 Soviet submarine accidents, 1 exploded Soviet satellite, the U.S. release of radioactive liquids, and the U.S. nuclear trigger assembly plant released nuclear particles and was shut down. The only accident in the 1990s was in 1997. Georgian soldiers suffered radiation poisoning and burns. They were traced back to training sources abandoned, forgotten, and unlabeled after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. 1 accident in 2003 involved an explosion in a Tennessee facility. During testing of a uranium processing method, there was an explosion followed by a fire. 3 employees were contaminated and the company had a fine. The U.S. started to get serious about nuclear weapons safety in the late 1960s and 1970s. They implemented a new policy called ENDS, Enhanced Nuclear Detonation Safety. This policy puts in place nuclear isolation, incompatibility, and inoperability to prevent accidents.